Russ Caswell could lose the motel his family has owned and operated for 2 generations, not because the Caswells broke any laws, but because the local police department wants to cash in on the Caswells' property, which the family owns free and clear. How can this happen in America? Welcome to the upside-down world of civil forfeiture. Civil forfeiture allows the government to take property it merely suspects has some involvement with a crime. But unlike criminal forfeiture, where property can only be taken if the owner is convicted of a crime, police can use civil forfeiture to take away cash, cars, homes, or other property without convicting or even charging the owner with any wrongdoing.
Federal and local law enforcement officials are demanding the Caswells forfeit their entire property, worth more than $1 million, because a tiny fraction of people who've stayed at the Motel Caswell during the past 20 years have been arrested for crimes. During that time, the Caswells have rented their rooms more than 125,000 times.
Employing what is known as equitable sharing under civil forfeiture, the U.S. Department of Justice and the local police will split a payout of more than $1 million if they can successfully seize and sell the Caswells' land, which has no mortgage. No mortgage means pure profit for law enforcement agencies. Under equitable sharing, local police departments like Tewksbury's get around state law by sending cases like the one against the Caswells to federal prosecutors, who then agree to kick back a large portion of any proceeds they get from the forfeiture to local law enforcement agencies. And the Caswells, who have committed no crime and built this business to fund their retirement, would end up with nothing.
One of the biggest problems with civil forfeiture is that law enforcement agencies get to keep the profit from the properties they forfeit. And this money can then be used to pad the budgets of police and prosecutors' offices. This gives law enforcement officials a direct and perverse financial incentive to abuse the forfeiture power. This is what is happening in Tewksbury and throughout the nation.
And the problem is growing nationwide. The Institute for Justice's landmark Policing for Profit study documented abuse of civil forfeiture laws in all 50 states. In 1986, the year after the financial incentive was introduced into federal forfeiture law, the Department of Justice Asset Forfeiture Fund took in just under $94 million. In 2010, the fund held more than $1.6 billion in forfeited property, and more than $400 million was paid out to state and local law enforcement agencies for their cooperation in cases like the Caswells.
A victory on behalf of the Caswells will set an important precedent for the principle that no one in America should lose their property without being convicted or even charged with a crime. This is wrong, and the Institute for Justice is fighting to stop it.